Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and today we're going to do a short review on Young Justice #1. This is the first comic in the new Wonder Comics imprint for DC. Here on the cover, we have the whole team here. It's pretty generic, not really exciting. They're all looking in different directions, and no one really stands out as being really cool. And of course, at the bottom, you have Impulse taking a selfie because those teenagers love their selfies. There's some other variants highlighting each of the characters. I think the Derek Chu variant of Impulse itself is actually really cool, but other than that, I find them all to be pretty generic and boring. Here on the credits, Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. What I will say about this comic and his writing, it's got much less word vomit than I'm used to when I've read his books before, so that was a welcome change, and I was happy with that. Otherwise, it's not very good. I wouldn't really recommend this book for anyone. It's not really written for me, and I understand that, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense. That the story's incoherent. The villains aren't very cool. They're from some place called Gemworld. They don't seem very dangerous at all. So Patrick Gleason is on the art. That's really the thing that stands out in this book. It's really good. It's very vibrant. It's very dynamic. Alejandro Sanchez on the colors really adds to that as well. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So the first character we get introduced to in Metropolis is Jinny Hex. She's visiting the city for the first time, and she gets pulled over by a police officer. And here's what I'm talking about with the art. Like, she steps out of the truck. This could be a really boring panel that doesn't do much, but she's in motion. She's got her leg up. She's holding her cowgirl hat up, talking, introducing herself as Jinny Hex, and you see the landscape behind her. It looks like a lived-in city. It feels very alive, like I said, vibrant, and the art really picks up a lot of a lot of the shortcomings of the writing in this book, in my opinion. And here, the police officer is asking her what's underneath this tarp on the back of her truck, and she explains that there's something under there that she needs to give to Superman. And that kind of permeates throughout this book. They mention that Superman's not in Metropolis a lot. Like, they really hammer it home. I'm not going to point out all the instances. There's also one other thing that bothers me about this book and the dialogue is there's a lot of cursing or implied cursing throughout the story. And I think this is supposed to be for teenagers. I don't understand why there's so much cursing in a teenage book, but I'm an old guy with kids, so just something that stands out to me. So after she's made her introduction, something's happening with the sky, and it's the aliens from Gemworld showing up. She saves the police officer, and then Tim Drake comes in. I don't understand how Tim Drake can even be here. He's not Robin. Damian Wayne is Robin right now, and last I knew, Tim Drake skipped town with some chick. So they don't explain what he's doing here. Actually, they don't explain what anyone's doing here except for Jinny Hex, because she's visiting for the city for the first time. Everyone else is just randomly here. So here's Tim Drake introducing himself as Robin. And the next character they introduce, they do a skip back for 4 minutes, and they show that Wonder Girl Cassie Sandsmark is actually runs into Tim Drake just before then, and some pretty boring dialogue. And then, man, Bendis really can't write teenagers. You gotta listen to this. I've been feeling, it's hard to describe. Like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's hard to, man, he cannot write teenagers. He does not get he does not understand how they communicate, whatever. So the next character that gets introduced is Impulse. I really do like Patrick Gleason's art. It's really excellent, very vibrant, adds a lot to the series. But after reading EVS's Impulse, or the book's EVS illustrated, it's actually kind of hard to see this, because man, he had Impulse on lock when he was drawing him. But so here, Impulse introduces himself. He's looking for Superman, Justice League, Harry Potter. Introduces himself as Impulse, Kid Flash, and he's zooming throughout the city, saving people, making little jokes and whatnot. And this is my favorite introduction, is Teen Lantern. because she's just just as confused by this incoherent story as I am. She introduces herself. Well, kind of, sort of. I'm Teen Lantern. I'm new. This is nuts. Hi. It's great. And she's in like a RoboCop, a construct, and she's got an enormous catcher's mitt. So obviously she likes RoboCop and baseball. So that's endearing in and of itself to me. So probably my new favorite character, or my favorite character in this story, even though Impulse would have been my favorite coming in. So they don't. There's so many weird things going on, but there at the end, the very last panel, here's Connor Kent, Superboy, showing up. Bart, what are you doing here? Connor, Superboy. That's a very good question, and I promise I'll answer it as soon as you tell me how. How what? How did you grow a beard? Dun-dun-dun. That funny Michael Bendis and his hilarious teen dialogue. They don't explain where they're at or where Connor Kent came from. Or they don't really explain anything. None of the continuity works in this story. It feels like it's an Elseworlds tale or something. So the two characters that actually stand out to me that I like are Jenny Hex. She seems like she's pretty fun. She could be a great character moving forward. And like I said, Teen Lantern, just because she was as equally as confused as a reader. Other than that, it's pretty bland. It's hard to introduce 6 characters in one book and give any of them any shine. And, so it's about what you would expect. I wouldn't really recommend this. Like I said, it's not written for me. It's written for kids, but perhaps they'll like it. If you're a big fan of Young Justice, I hope you enjoy it. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you like the review, give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications in the future. You can always contact me via Twitter at Wes_from_TC, or you can always email me wesdiggscomics@gmail.com. That concludes the video, and Salamat Po, and I'm out.